G'day and welcome to the second video. Second or third? I can't remember. On our little Yamaha Zeal. Keep calling it Squeal. And what a good deal. And, you know, Navy Seal. You can call it anything. I'm just being an idiot. Right. So, the news isn't great. I've been toying with the idea of ditching it because there's no worth in them, that sort of thing, and you know, it's the sort of thing you can pull it apart and just advertise bits, get rid of it that way. But I might hang on to it for now because I found some very cheap parts, which are probably not good, but might be worth having a play. I ordered a gasket kit. It was like 30 bucks, 40 bucks or something like that, and you can get aftermarket pistons and all that sort of stuff. Because we have no compression in, well, low compression in two, none in one. So this video talks a little bit about that. We pull the engine and start pulling it to bits. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy. Well, bad news, we might be losing another electroplater. So who knows, maybe I will be doing my own. I just don't want to. With that in mind though, there's some time left. So I decided to start stripping the Squeal. Oh, I just ran into a bumper bar. Here it is. Our little Yamaha. I'm just going to pull that exhaust off. And it's rather funky. A couple of odd bits. This is all going to get plated in silver, I think, although I might do it in gold. This it's got this really funky rear set arrangement for the gear shift and also the rear brake. That's polished alloy, so I'll take these and get them done as well. These pegs though, I can put a clevis with a split pin in. By rubbing that out, then I can take all that off. We'll keep that in mind. Rather nice kit though. I wasn't going to bother with provisions for a pillion, but I might have to. Oh gosh, right. I've also taken off, you know, the cover for the front sprocket. I've got to, I'll get John to hydroblast that and then I'll just clear it. I'll leave it natural, so that can permanently go. And also, this one here, I've got to see what gasket availability is like. I wouldn't mind taking that whole, I don't know what's behind there actually, I'm assuming, whatever, but I've got to take that coolant line off. I want to get that zinced, at least see if it'll come up. It might be too far gone if I can't get a replacement for it. But I'm just pulling it apart. There's lots of stuff on here which I'm going to need to film because I know my Ford cars quite well, my old Ford cars. This I don't know, and it's typical Japanese, lots of brackets, lots of bits and pieces, although that isn't hard to work out what that clutch cable one is, but you know, it's all looking alright. I've got to take the cooling system out. I'm just going to drop that exhaust now and hang it up in the shed. Ooh, to get that out of the way. Once I've got that off, I can put a jack under and lift up the back wheel and have the bike all nice and level. I'm so used to thinking this is a Honda. I was thinking Honda Zeal, but there's no such thing. This reminds me of CB350 4x4. They're known for being very light, and that's the reason they rusted so badly. Honda decided to keep them very light because the bike was getting too heavy for the sort of meager power it had. But this is also very light. This exhaust, it should just unhook. I think you heard that, did you? The whole thing just fell off. Alright, I can't reach it. I'm going to mark up this chrome. The exhaust actually looks really good on this bike. Ooh. Let's have a look at it. That's a little work of art, isn't it? Check it out. It's a lovely bit of work. So it's the two outer ones into the top muffler, And the two inner ones. It's even got little drains for it. That's forward thinking. I might take those out. Have a look. Not really a whole lot of coolant in a little Yamaha Squeal. It's nice and clean though. That's so cool. Look, it fills up. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'll just leave that there and start taking the hoses off. It's kind of cool though. It's so dinky, you know. I just don't want to disturb this. Damn, those clamps are tight, man. I don't want to damage the radiator. It's the sort of thing that'd be $1,000. Although you would never replace it with new. Thank you, Nick. I always thank him whenever I grab his tools. Like these tools. Sweet. There's that tube there. Let me take these pipes up and have a look. Tell me I didn't just say pipes, I meant hoses. That's all there is to that. It was chrome, which is nice. I'd actually like to put chrome back on it. It's a shame. We'll see what we can do though. You never know. That is so cute, the radiator. Look at the fan. Dad's old slide projector had a bigger one in it. But, to its credit, it is absolutely squeaky inside, which is lovely. That's quite a fragile part, so I'm going to put that somewhere safe. Look at the motor. It's only cooling a 1/4 of a litre engine though. So it's not like it has to be big. Now I can get to the plugs. If I can see what I'm doing. It's also got a recovery tank in it, which I didn't know. Yeah, so we can take those out and give it a quick compression test before we start pulling any more stuff off. This exhaust doesn't look too bad. Correction, looks really good. That's all going to come off. There's a mild bit of pitting, sort of rust pitting underneath, but that's not a problem. It looks like they're chrome and these are stainless. But even that, it's not brilliant, but it's had a couple of scrapes. But I think on the whole, they're gonna be fine. Particularly the chrome parts, although this, what's under here? They haven't got the same level of finish, sorry, as that has. I don't reckon it matters anyway, because you're never going to see it. Yeah, they're going to be a bit of a chicken dinner, I think. Winner, winner. Oh, I wonder where I left that mark. Yeah, that's cool. So I'm just going to put these away. Right. I suppose before we pull things apart, we've got to check that they work. Damn. Ooh, damn me front. Wow. That little dinky thing has guts. Hang on. I don't pull too much current, is it? This one is just short. That works well. Whoopsie. Let's pull it apart. I'm doing this more as a play thing. Because, I mean, I want to do the thing up. Oh, it cracks me up, this thing. It's almost cute. But there's so much crap in it, do you know what I mean? Oh, that might not be a great idea. These are stiff. I think they're a bit rusty. A bit of CRC in a socket. Should only budge. Oh, finally. We'll get that cleaned up too. What does this say? Denso. That'll just get a light paint job, I think, and whatever. I'll put it in a sandwich bag though. Just mucking around with this coolant pipe. It was chrome. And I'm just getting rid of the rust with a worn out old Scotch Brite thing on my dog runner. And I reckon if we just rough it up and get it zinc plated, it might be okay. I'm going to get it chrome plated because they've got to keep doing copper dips and all this sort of stuff to get any of the pitting out. But I don't think it's going to matter if it's got mild pitting. Just as long as it doesn't look like it's rusty. Cleaned off. You can still see there's chrome on it. I'm going to get John to hydroblast it. I'm going to reuse it. Stuff it. It's just lost its planing. There's still wall thickness there. It doesn't feel soft or anything. I mean, I think it's going to be fine. Don't you want to do that? I think it's going to be right though. Worst comes to worst, I can actually body work it, I suppose, but it will get really, really hot. So, you know, we do need a stable coating if we do go down the paint route, but I would certainly just use silver zinc on that. Iron it out as best I can, silver zinc, just to try and hide some of the pits. This is the sprocket cover on the Zeal. There's two seals. I want to get this thing looked at. Zeal, Seal, Squeal, whatever you want to call it. You can get them out in pretty good nick. I think they're only there just to stop grime getting in and galling up this area here. So I'm just going to pop them out. This one's a bit tougher. The other one came out quite easily. There it is, I've got behind it now. And because there's no oil behind them, I'm just going to reuse them. That's why I'm being careful to sort of take them out in reasonable condition. I mean, once they're washed up, I think they're going to be fine. I'm really watching what I spend because I've sinned a bit on the Fairlane. No, that's going to be fine. So I'll put these in a nice safe spot and then I can get that hydroblasted. I'm not going to rub it and paint it, I'm just going to get it hydroblasted. Actually, while I'm looking at it, do these come out? Yes, they do. Just want to make sure I don't grab them too hard. Little locating dowels for the cover as well. Now, the clutch cover is going to have to come off. The starter, there's a cover over the starter mechanism, if you like. That's got to come off too, so that can go off to John now. Service kit. I'm not going to put the new filter on until the engine's back in. It just looks like a Toyota one. It's different though, I've checked. I've got 10 of those or 9 of those or something. The Toyota ones, that is. Plugs are quite unique too. These are an MGK, obviously. And they're weird because they've got a really small, they're tiny. So, I mean, they're really small. We need to take the old ones out. Got to find my compression tester. It'll fit. I think it'll fit there. Just a minute. So new against old. Exactly the same. They're not that bad. There's a bit of wear on them. I can't focus on that. There's the compression tester I bought. I remember not being that wrapped in it, but it does have the adapter I need. I was actually quite surprised that it says the standard 5/8. Well, it's not, I'm using a metric one, but plug socket. And the access without the cooling system or without the radiator in situ is much, much easier. These aren't even that tight. I would say it hasn't had, you know, an oil change and spark plugs and everything for a while. The other thing is, I think I have to take the carbies off before I drop the engine. I don't really want to, but it might be better in case I knock one or whatever. They're all much the same. I have to disconnect the coils too, because I think this will only crank over when it's in the run position, which means the coils are switched. And I don't want them, you know, sparking or anything while I'm trying to do the test. Okay. They're just all running very rich. But they're all in. That one's not, actually. This one here seems to be burning a little bit differently. That seems to be burning a bit healthier, actually. This is why I love Japanese cars and bikes. They color code. So I've got yellow for, I think it's 1 and 3. No, it's 2 and 4. Is it? No, 1 and 4, sorry. Idiot. And we've got white for 2 and 3. It just doesn't get better than that. So good. Because it's like the Honda. I mean, the Honda's got a sacrificial spark, but you've got the same connectors. So I mean, the same coloured connectors. So if you were to just take them off there, you're going to get confused. But this way you can't. Perfect. Well, we've got some wind today. Time to hook this battery back up. Half the accessories are off the bike. I'm just hoping I can get it to still crank. I've taken the coils off and a whole lot of, you know, all the lights and all this sort of stuff. All I want it to do is crank. Then I can hook up that compression tester. Wrong size screwdriver, but we don't care. And let's see if it cranks. That sounds good enough for me. Right. I'm hoping this knurled nut doesn't get jammed in the head, because everything's so tiny on this thing. Put a bit more slip on there. Well, come back. Did I get it wrong? No, we'll find out in a minute. Just a minute, excuse me. Let's see how this goes. I'm hoping for more than 0. Let's go. That's less than ideal. Keeps going up. You probably get a bit more if I open the throttle, but I didn't. I'm just looking for consistency. So number 1 wasn't reading. It was like 25. I'll go back there in a minute. That's like 110-ish. I was going to write it down because I'm going to forget. Absolutely nothing. I had trouble sealing it last time, but I don't know. I'll just put a bit. I'll clean the plug hole and put a bit of grease around the O-ring. I've only got 35 in number 1, which is terrible. And I did clean the seat, so there's quite obviously a problem there. I did have trouble making this seat properly though, but I'm going to take that as gospel. Compression issues. Like nothing happens. What's this? It stops and then starts again. And then quits at 70 psi. I wasn't even getting a reading on number 1 before. I'm just going to write that down. But I've ganged another O-ring on there and tried pushing one, but it's too big. Right, so the compression test is pretty rank. Starting from number 1, we've got 70, 110, 12 and 95, so they're all over the place. I don't think the number matters, it's the variation which is important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the old plugs back in. I'm going to take the motor out, or pull the rest of the bike apart, take the motor out, and I'll do that first, the testing the engine, because I'm thinking sticky valves, because this thing has been sitting around forever. If that's the case, that's an easy thing to fix. Still pulling a few bits off. The carburettor is going to come out now. I wasn't going to leave. I was kind of going to leave them on, but I was having trouble getting to this cable down here. Now, the thing with this, I'm going to be quite forthright about something. This is not a bike that has any value in it, really, in terms of monetary value. It has a very limited monetary value, which means it's not worth dropping a whole lot of money on. How the hell does that come in? Oh, I see. So it would be far too easy to overcapitalise. If this isn't a quick fix, in terms of, you know, some sticky valves or whatever, then I might bail on it. I'll leave it in bits, part it out, and walk. Because it's not worth spending too much on something you don't absolutely love. I like it, I think it's a cutie, but I don't love it. Although I do quite like those carbies. Anyway, even in getting it stripped down this far, there's a few things. You know, the old, the more you dig, the more you'll find. Those manifolds have a lot of sort of cracks around the periphery, which wouldn't help. It's not going to harm the compression, but it's another maintenance thing that needs to be looked at. That coolant manifold there, I think that's what it is. Yes, it is. Might pull that off too. Yeah, we've just got to keep our eyes sort of, we've just got to keep focused on this thing, because it could turn out to be really not worth repairing. Oh dear, we have a milkshake. Okay. That's not what I want to see. Now, there could be a little bit of condensation, but I reckon it's worse than that. Now, there was no oil in the coolant. The bike was kept outside. It's foreseeable that something's got in that shouldn't have, but where did it get in? That's a $65,000 question. But that's not what I really wanted to see. So the future isn't looking too bright for this old thing. Got to make aluminum. I'm going to continue pulling it apart, as I said before. I'll sell some stuff off. But I need to do some sums. Because the thing is this, right? The bike, the paint was very expensive, but I can use that on the special. When I talk about the special, I'm talking about that CB354. If this was a 70s Honda bike, or Yamaha, it doesn't matter, 70s sort of classic bike, it's worth a lot more in terms of value and in terms of investing X number of dollars in it to fix it. This is a late 90s, early 2000s type thing, and they're pretty much worthless. And these haven't got enough of a following. But if it's stuff I can fix, like painting a frame is easy and it doesn't cost anything. A chain and sprocket kit. I mean, this sprocket here is knackered. It doesn't matter. You expect that when you get an old bike. I haven't looked at the back one yet, but I'm tipping it's the same, and it's just there. A clutch, which apparently was jumping or shuttery. Now I know why, because there's water in there. You know, a set of clutch discs is like $80 or something. A lot of it's actually quite cheap to do. Set of tyres you would expect, set of brake pads you'd expect. Overhaul some cylinders, some masters and slaves and all this sort of other stuff, you know. Or masters and, what are they called? Calipers, that sort of thing. You expect that. But I don't want to crack that engine. If it's just sticky valves, it's easy. Well, not easy necessarily, but less invasive than having to go through the whole parts bin. That's just not worth it. I'm going to, I think that chain is endless. So it's probably the original one. The rear caliper's sticky. Really sticky. And I can't see the end of the chain, so I'll just get a breaker and bust out the chain. I think it's a 520 on this bike. And then I think the motor's pretty much ready to drop. There's not much in a motorbike really, but I need it up on the bench. I want to have a good look at it to make sure it is junk. It's going to to get the last bit out. I can feel it coming through. There we go. Nicely broken. Job done. Roll in the dirt for like here. Okay. That sprocket's buggered. Doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, well, time for a look. I think I've undone everything. Engine wire loom, some of it. Oh, that's the coolant. That goes to the header tank from, yeah, that doesn't matter. The header tank can stay there for now. Starter disconnected, exhaust, carburetors, throttle, fuel lines, all that's gone. There's the thing for the fuel pump, which I'll take off, the little retainer thing. The side stand switch, I'm just going to put there. They can come off with the engine because the cable's independent, pardon me, of the engine, but it's sort of routed up through it, so that's all right. Underneath all good. As far as bolts are concerned, mounts, there's a weird carrier thing. It's got a thread on the bottom. See that bolt, that nut, sorry? Goes up to this thing. I don't know what that is. What the hell is that? It's only one. Damn. Oh, it's just got a through bolt. Just take the through bolt out and then that other bracket thing will come off. The rest of it's all out. We're just going to take those mounts off. One over that side. One at the top, one there. And that's it. Then the engine will fall on the concrete. But I'll put a jack under it. So from what I can tell, there's not an awful lot holding this in. The bottom mount down there was loose. The front mounts are loose. This one was tight as hell, but we got it out. I think I've got a ratchet ring somewhere. Hang on a minute. I have every size except 12 and 14, which are the two sizes you always need. Whoops. That's why the ratchet rings were cheap. Well, that should fall out. Well, I hope it doesn't fall, but it should be ready to come out. Where can I grab it? That'll do. Oh, it did. Hang on a minute. Damn. Probably done something wrong. Let me just pull it out like this. Oh, it doesn't weigh anything. Looks good. Oh, damn. Alright, that's cool. Unconventional, but cool. Right, well, hopefully I can figure out whether we can fix this thing on the cheapie or the whole thing's going on Marketplace. We've got, which is one, 2, 3, 4. I just marked it there. I could even be wrong with that. Like, I don't remember which bolt I undid first. So I just want to take this off. Did I undo these? I'm not concentrating. It's cold. I'm just going to do these and have a look. I'm right-handed, by the way. I don't know why I'm using my left hand, probably because there's no room where the camera is. But the one that's giving us the most grief is 3. It's not reading. I read 12 psi. 1, I think 70, 210, 312, and 4 had 95. So not fantastic. Not really what we want. So I'm just going to take these off. And hopefully it's not full of sludge and doesn't all fall forward, but it might. I'm going to keep the camera because I've got the tripod set up in a bad way. I'll just try and crack that. favourite saying I inherited from my... I inherited from my father. She'll be right. Let's put that there because I've got a hunch oil's going to come out. I'm sure it will. If I was oil, I would come out. Yep, I think more oil's going to come out. Where are those trackies on there? These are the trackies of disgrace. Because I don't care about them anymore. I won't wear them. I just wore them out. Okay, Squealy, you can make all the oil mess you want. If I can get this friggin' bolt out. We've got a milkshake up here too. It looks pretty bad, guys. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. Come on. Doesn't look bad at all, really. I wanted it to look bad. I've got to take this off too because I need to see. I have to take that cover off because I want to see. I want to be able to rotate the engine and just find out what the hell is going on. Actually, I mean, you got crappy oil, but I can't see anything screaming in terms of wear. Camshafts look pretty good. Timing chain is obviously tight there. The problem is down there, I think. I don't know if you can take that out like the Honda. It's such a high revving engine. Everything's so tiny. That's why I called it dinky before. Engineering's beautiful, isn't it? Right, I'm going to take that coolant line off. Take that starter reduction cover thing off. Hopefully that doesn't spew everywhere. That's going off to the hydroblaster if we end up keeping this bike. This coolant line is moving out of there, but it's jammed in the water pump. You can see where I've bent that, and I'm worried I'm going to break it. So, I also dropped my other ratchet, the really crappy one. Damn. And it's smashed on the floor. The plastic bit in the end, it was just one that I found. I'm going to take this off. These are all just sealed with, bloody hell, O-rings. I can't get that over there. I'm going to take the thermostat housing off. And I mean, the problem with these things, there's not that many of them around. And just a thermostat housing, people want $50, you know, and then this bit here, they want $100, and it just goes on and on. It becomes tiresome with. It's no different from cars, exactly the same thing, except it's a much smaller article. Can I knock that off? Can I put anything in there and price it? We're talking about a bike that's not had much maintenance. I got one off. I don't want to use my good set on there. I'm just using trashy ones that came with furniture. God. You should never do that either. I'm one of these people, do as I say, not as I do. Can you see what I'm doing? I don't think you're missing much. In fact, I'm damn sure you're not missing anything. Hopefully that whole thing comes off. Now the coolant was particularly clean, but I know the bike lived outside and there's evidence of it everywhere you look. You know, you leave vehicles outside and they just turn to mush. They should just have O-rings in them. And they do. And that's a really good nick. Sweet. What was I doing? Oh, that. That's right. Feel free to be appalled at the way I do things too. Because I am. I often appall myself. Now, gaskets I can make up. A head gasket, obviously, I can't. I wasn't planning on taking the head off, and I'm still not planning on it. Now, what I want to do is try and rotate that in the water pump. The engine doesn't weigh an awful lot. I'm just going to rotate and try and wiggle it out. And then I can get that cover off. It's a long way around to do it this way, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Have I split that there? I hope not. It's all clean though. It's all really clean. But we'll hydroblast it if we keep it. Alright, now, what was I doing? Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay, just a minute. I was thinking this would leak oil everywhere. It does. Hang on a minute. We'll give it more tracky pants. I'm really hopeful that this turns out to be alright because it's cool. There's something very cool about this. I love the engineering. I love Japanese stuff. Any mechanic does. You always get young people say, what should I buy as a first car? It's got to be Japanese. These days in Australia, if you buy a first car which is a Commodore, or Falcon, particularly Commodore, cops are all over you, because every time someone does something dumb in a car, it's in a Commodore. You know, where was I going? I was going up here, wasn't it? This little lip there. Pretty safe to assume there's dowels on that. Just a moment. I've lost my nylon hammer. I don't know what I've done with it, so we're going to use this rubber mallet. Super duper. Okay, and that's beautiful. I can make a gasket, which is rather spiffy. Should be able to turn that. That's what I'm hoping for. I can use the starter. I'll have to put that cover back on just momentarily to use the starter. But I want to be able to turn it by hand, just so I can see if those valves are returning. Pretty sure that's a sprag. So it doesn't go that way, it goes that way. Good. Alright. I'm trying to see. Which was it again? Number 3. Number 3's got no compression. These two, well, 4 valves. Oh, look at that. That's got a bloody crack in it too. Yeah, I don't know what likelihood of me fixing this is. So I'll just move them around a bit so I can see. I need my other glasses too. Alright. I just want to move this. I don't know if your view is any better, really. We've got a shim and bucket arrangement under each valve. There, or above each valve, I should say. And I just want to see if they're returning properly. So I can't see that one. Can I? Just a moment. No, you can't see. Right, so we did a wet test, a dry test yesterday. I've shone a light in here, had a look. I can't see anything obvious. I can't see any bent valves, anything like that. The biggest problem we had, I'm going to read that now, I think it's 125 on 4, wasn't it? Hang on. I think I wrote it somewhere else as well. Anyway, number 1 only had 70. So I'm just going to stick some oil. Is it coming out yet? It's getting low in oil. Number 3 was the biggest one with Zippo. Just let that swill around a bit. Drop a whole lot of stuff on it. Yeah. And I reckon we just give another one a wet test and see what happens. Hang on a minute, take that off. 3 is the biggest worry. Now if the compression's changed drastically, it's a problem. Yeah? I can probably pull ahead and lap some valves and muck around with it, but I don't really want to go putting rings or anything in it. Oh, I don't want to get that tangled. Where are we? Well, you got a problem. That's just gone berserk. So the problem's not in the head. That's in the rings. That is not good. That's not good at all. Let's see what this one does. Number one. Now, if rings are cheap, that's good. But if they're not, we're bailing. We're not doing any more on this. Oh, shit. Yep, we got buggered rings. It didn't, well, there's a couple of things, right? You could have a sticky ring. This bike just doesn't seem to do any work. It's been sitting around a lot, I think. I need to just think about it. So I don't know. I need to think about it. I need to price up a few things, see what's going on. From what I can see around the bike, it's not a bad nick. It's just been sitting outside for over a day. I don't think that milkiness in the oil is a problem. I don't think that's really a big issue because it's not really sludged up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean running with water running through it. That looks like it's diluted with condensation over time, and not being heated up enough to sort of evaporate it. So I don't know. So I'm less alarmed about that, more alarmed with the fact that I would have sworn that the valves were sticky because they're sitting around. This means top end off, and having a look at the bores, they don't look fantastic in some areas with the endoscope, but they're still cross-hatching all through them, but it looks like there's porosity marks through it, so I don't know. Really, the best thing to do would be, I pulled it out prematurely. I should have left it connected, changed the oil and filter, new plugs, got it nice and hot in the bike. I think, you know, if there's a compression change, it'll be after it's gone through a good heat cycle and had a bit of run time. But really, it's the thing to do is to take it out on the road and give it a good hiding, just to sort of get everything moving again. So I don't know if that'd help or not. But so I've got to make a decision whether I just throw the cover back on, throw the carbies back on, stick it back in the bike, put the exhaust on, temporarily mock up the wiring and run it. I just can't be bothered doing that at the moment. Or take the top end off and just throw a set of rings in. If there's cheap rings around, I'll think about it, but you won't know until you take it off whether it needs boring, and I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Anyway, look, that's all. I need to sit and think about this. I'm not really sure what to do. My head is saying abandon ship, part it out, sell off everything, and throw out the rest. Heart's obviously saying let's get it back on the road, make it look really pretty, but not really sure. So advice would be fantastic. Anyway, take good care of yourselves, enjoy a classic, and I'll see you soon.